Hello everybody and welcome to Them Fast. Today we are driving this Toyota Aygo, and it's actually my Toyota Aygo. So come along in this POV drive and I'll show you this Toyota Aygo. So welcome inside of this Toyota Aygo, and this Toyota Aygo is out of the year 2010 and it has a 69 horsepower engine, which translates to not enough power. But for this car it is fine because it is called a city bug. So you can drive to work or to do some fun things or whatever. It's not a lot of comfort in this car, but it will get you everywhere you want to go. So that's nice. This car is a little older because it's out of 2010 and it's my personal car. So that's why it's not a new car, because we frequently drive new cars. But this is an older car because it is mine. And actually I do like this car a lot. We have a Dutch car journalist, or actually he is a very well-known mechanic, and he always says, wat er niet op zit kan niet kapot. And that means what isn't on the car can't break. And that's actually the case with this car. I had a few things that I had to do on this car in terms of maintenance and repairs, and out of the brakes, wheel bearings, I had them changed. Also the oil, of course. I had a few other things like my wiper blade that broke off, or yeah, I got some small things about this car which had to be repaired, or yeah, they had to be changed. It's not bad at all. It wasn't really expensive to do that, so that was nice. Because if you are in the market for a car like this, you don't have to save up a lot of money to maintain the car, which can be nice if you don't have the funds or don't want to invest in the car as much as like a Volkswagen or an Audi or like a BMW. Companies make a lot of parts for these cars, A quality, B quality. I always recommend to go for the A quality, of course, because you keep your car in the best shape possible. So in this car was specced with a few things. So it has a spoiler on the roof, and it also has a aftermarket exhaust. It's a German-made exhaust, and it sounds actually quite nice. It's not, yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's not that hard on the inside of the car, but it will make a funny sound on the outside. And it's not like the cheap, like it doesn't rattle, like it doesn't sound cheap, and it wasn't cheap, so that's nice. And it's on there since 2010, and I had a little repair because my right exhaust did broke off, but we managed to get it on. And we also make the structure a little bit stronger so that it won't happen again. And the car on the highway, like we're driving 70, 80 kilometers an hour right now, that's actually fine. 100 an hour is also fine, and 110 it will do that. But when you are going over 110, like more 130 or 140 kilometers an hour, then it's beginning to, yeah, like show that that's the limit. You don't drive this car quite comfortable when you're driving 130 kilometers an hour. But when you're we're driving in the Netherlands, and the top speed right now is, the maximum speed right now is 100 kilometers an hour, so you won't drive like a lot faster than that. It will change in the evening. After 7 it will be 130 kilometers an hour, but most of the time you can't go even harder than 110, which is fine for this car. I have some aftermarket rims on this car, but there's some tire noise and exhaust noise, of course, but yeah, you feel that the car won't like it in the higher speeds. But in terms of casual driving, it works perfectly. And in terms of the interior of the car, this is a normal steering wheel. I don't have the rev gauge. I think it's called the rev gauge, but it can be mounted up here, and you have a little meter where you can see how much revs it gives. I made a custom phone holder for this car because I had a phone holder right here, but it was gone, and I'm testing with a 3D printer, so I 3D printed my own phone holder, which is nice, and it works, so that's fine. The CD player won't do anything, so it's fine that it works, and my radio doesn't do anything at all as well, so it's fine, and I can work on the buttons. I can use the buttons right here for the climate control, and further on it's all really cheap plastic and yeah, thin metal. There's a RS6, that's nice. That's a lot more expensive than this car, but this car won't disappoint you for the money. So this car was first bought at a price at 10,000 euros, which was the target price of this car, to keep it under 10,000 euros. But of course this car had some other rims, a spoiler and a different exhaust, so it was a little more expensive. But if you bought the car like plain, it would cost you under 10,000 euros back in 2010, because now you can't get any car under 10,000 euros, if I'm right, because we were at a dealership and they had like a smart size, a little smaller actually, a like really small city car for 2 persons, and it was an electric one. That's why the price, I think, is a little higher, but it was like 15,000 euros to get yeah, a car like that, and you could be in it with 2 people, and yeah, it wasn't not a very practical or big car. So yeah, 15,000 euros, there's a difference. But this car was around 10,000 euros, which was very nice for the for what you get. I also got AC in this car. The air conditioning works fine, so that's nice as well if you're yeah, in like higher heat. The car will cool down. And also got a little thingy that you can call, you can connect it with the phone, but it's a little bit outdated, and when I have to call I plug in my AirPods and it works fine. So yeah, you also have the background noise, and people will understand what you're saying, because when I call with this it doesn't work fine, and actually the screen doesn't turn on right now. Oh no, sorry, it is on, but it's behind the phone. And in terms of the fuel consumption of this car, it's actually really good, because it has a 35-liter tank, and I always put in 95, so Euro 95, and with 10% ethanol. And if I'm driving this car, I can get around 750 kilometers with this car, which is actually quite nice, because I'm driving a lot with this car. It's nice to have a long range with the fuel you're putting in. So 35 liters and a 750 kilometers range. I don't know what's the exact amount of how you can compare it, but you can calculate it if you want. So, and this week I changed my brakes, my front brakes, because in the back you don't have like discs and brake pads. But in front I changed the brake discs and the brake pads myself, which was actually quite easy to do. You can watch a video on YouTube and you can quite easily change the brakes. You just have to buy the right set, and then you can change just first your left and then the right, or other of the way around. But it was quite easy, and that's the nice thing about this car. You can do a lot of repairs yourself. It's not really complicated, or it doesn't have to be really expensive. I had done my wheel bearings. They were a little expensive, but there was a really strange sounds out of the car, and we couldn't figure out where it came from. So we thought it were on the right side, and we changed the wheel bearing, but it was still there. Then we thought it was like a noise out of the driving train. So yeah, if you have something like that, it would be not nice at all. But luckily it was the left wheel bearing. We changed it as well to make sure it wasn't the wheel bearing, and yeah, it was the wheel bearing. And that was a little more expensive. In total, I think I spent around 600 euros to do both of the sides and to see where the sound was coming from. But if I were doing it myself, yeah, it would have been nice. The garage did it for me, and they took care of the wheel bearings. But further on, yeah, I did my brakes myself. A few things were broken in the car. I changed it myself, and I always try to wash my car by myself. So guys, this was the POV video for now. Thanks for watching to this POV drive with this 2010 Toyota Aygo. And if you want to see more about this car, you can check out our YouTube channel, and also let us know in the comments what you want to see of this car, or which other cars you want to see on the channel. Hope to see you in a next video, and see you guys next time. Ciao!